Miriam and Lisa are both on the bed rubbing themselves. This story time is about how someone I used to talk to, he set up two women in the company to get me fired. Mind you, these are two managers that are supposed to be role models. We still in Sassy Man Apocalypse for sure. And I don't know when it's gonna end. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Blueprintscorpio here. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram to keep up with everything that I got going on, my business. Speaking of my business, I have a weight gain business where I help the girlies and the men get their weight up, period. So y'all want to look good for the springtime, summertime? Go ahead and buy my products. It'll be down below in the description box. I am so excited to drop this video. You're in for a treat. First of all, why they had to wake my savage up? Why y'all gonna wake my savage up? Why? Because then me, I have to do this, and now me, I do this. You get what I'm saying? This is about to be just a raw, uncut video. I'm about to give y'all a story time. I'm really finna be popping my shit, not giving a fuck. We just gonna get on with the video. We're not even gonna waste too much time, okay? So this story time is really to help a lot of people and a lot of girlies not do the same thing that I did, and to really notice certain red flags when you first meet a person and just really not be stupid for real. So boom, this story time is crazy. This story time is nuts. So get your popcorn. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but go ahead and get your snacks right now. Okay? I can't say what I want to say, but everybody want to say what they want to say. I'm gonna not say what I want to say. It's don't say that. Don't say that. Shh. Like, no, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Period. So this story time is about how someone I used to talk to who was also my boss. Yeah, he was my boss, and he set up two women in the company to get me fired from the company. And it was actually insane. And this is gonna be a part 1 and a part 2, okay? He literally begged me to move to Miami with him and everything, and was living a whole double life. And so this story time is to really help people out there and really bring awareness to the community and let y'all know we still in Sassy Man Apocalypse for sure. And I don't know when it's gonna end. We gotta run, we gotta get away from this. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Okay, to start the video off, we're not gonna use no names. We're not gonna say nobody's name. So this video is not to bash anybody. This is simply my experience and what I went through. And I'm simply sharing it with y'all and letting y'all know, look, when you see red flags, don't ignore them and don't just be like, oh, that don't exist. Like, nah, really take that into consideration and really understand that everybody shows you who they are. Everybody shows you who they are, and it's up to you to believe whatever you want to believe. So I dated this guy a while back or whatever, and everything was just like, y'all, I'm gonna really explain the whole rundown and let y'all know that people are really weird, and I should have just really seen the signs, but I did see the signs. I just was being a dumb bitch and ignoring them. Honestly, let's be for real. Everybody been there. We all been dumb bitches and been like, nah, we could change them. Nah, it'll get better. No, it never gets better. That's who they are. Wake the fuck up and realize, okay? And that's me talking to myself, and really me talking to y'all too. Anybody that's gone through the situation or may go through the situation in the future, then y'all can kind of see certain shit. Y'all could kind of, you know, peep certain things out, because then y'all could be like, oh yeah, I watched Blueprintscorpio video and I remember this happened to her. I'm just like real hesitant with this story simply because I don't want to conjure up any old parasites or any old spirits, you know? So it's like, I do feel like leaving it alone would be the best bet, but at the end of the day, it doesn't dismiss what happened, and it is my story, and at the end of the day, I could be potentially helping one of y'all out. So we just gonna go on with the story. This is right around a time where I was like, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf and just focus on, you know, bettering my life and just really getting my life on track and just focusing on me and doing things that I need to do to make sure that I prosper in life. I ended up putting a lot of different applications into Indeed, and I was like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna go wherever God takes me and kind of leads me, you know. At this point in time, I'm just on my spiritual journey, just really getting to know God and just focusing on uncovering the truth of the world and a bunch of different things. And I'm just really just like finding myself again and kind of like drawing back to my old habits before I got a little bit lost or whatever. This company ends up sending me an email, and it was downtown. So I was like super excited because I was downtown as well. Let me see where this takes me. So I ended up doing an interview, and it was me and this other girl, and I was not intimidated, but kind of like, dang, she got a degree. I'm not gonna get it. Like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Not gonna lie, y'all, I barely even got dressed or anything. I kind of just wet my hair and got on camera and was just hoping for the best. It was a Zoom call, so it was like one-on-one video chat, me and the other girl, and then the person of the company, one of the managers of the company. So we get on a Zoom call, and the guy that's doing the Zoom call, he's like stuttering, he's like tripping over his words. You can tell that he was flattered by my appearance, and I was just kind of like in my head like, oh yeah, I got this job. Like, it don't even matter if I have a degree, I have this job, because the way he's, you know, stuttering and like battering his eyes and just like tripping over his words, kind of, not saying that she wasn't eating, not saying that she wasn't that girl, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, when a dude is just kind of into you, it is what it is. So I wasn't tripping. I'm like, I know I got this job. He's like, if I end up liking you, then somebody of the company will end up reaching out, and that's how you'll know you got the job. So I'm like, okay. So the Zoom call ends up ending, and I'm just like, all right, let's see what happens. And literally, y'all, I kid you not, 5 minutes later, I get a call and say, hey, this is so-and-so. We're just gonna name the guy that I dated of this whole story time. We're just gonna name him, we gonna name him Jimmy. Nah, we ain't gonna name him Jimmy. That's my granddad's name. That's one of my granddad's names. We just gonna name him Pete, because I don't know a Pete, and Pete just sounds like a safe name. So he's like, yeah, Pete really liked you, and he said that he really wants to move forward with you. He wants you to join the company. He's really excited to have you come on board. So I'm like, really? Oh my God, such a shocker. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna send you that email and let you know when you start. Okay, mind y'all, I'm thinking it's like an office job. I'm thinking it's like a desk job. That's kind of like what it portrays to be, like an office type of job. So I'm like, oh, perfect. This is perfect for me, 9 to 5. I just go in, sit at my little desk, go to my office looking cute, and yeah. So I ended up joining the company. The first day I was there, I was very like kind of overwhelmed, simply because it was just a lot of stuff going on that morning, and it was just a lot getting there on time. It was my driver. He was just being super, super annoying. I ended up getting there, and luckily Pete, he was late too. So I was like, perfect. He don't even know that I'm late. So it's perfect. He ends up walking straight upstairs, and he kind of forgot that I was there because he was already running late, and his brain, as I go on with the story, y'all are gonna understand that his brain is literally scattered all over the place. So that should have been a red flag right there. But he ends up going upstairs, and then somebody tells him like, hey, you have a girl downstairs. It's her first day, you need to train her. So he comes down, walking down the stairs all slow. I'm telling you, it was like a movie. It was like he done seen an angel fall from heaven. I was wearing all white, like I am now, all white, middle part curly hair, just, you know, light makeup, super pretty, super natural, just, yeah, I'm ready to start the job. What's up? White toes, white nose, what's up? He's walking down the stairs, like he sees the angel all slow. Then he greets me, hey, my name is Pete. I'm like, oh, hey, Pete. Very handsome. Would never take that away from him. Very handsome, but I'm cute too. So at the end of the day, your looks is not just everything. But when you're like first meeting somebody and y'all both are just infatuated with each other, I could definitely understand why things played out the way they played out. He ends up training me, and I start to understand very, very fast that it wasn't the company that I thought it was. It was very much giving cult-like energy. And for me, it was like a lot of people that was in that company was kind of like a kiss ass to the main owner of the company. And it was just like so weird. Like, I could not believe I was in a mix or something like that, but it definitely wasn't what I thought it was. Y'all, it was actually me being a private contractor for the company, selling phones to low income homes and low income people that's under food stamps and all that. So understood very quickly that it definitely wasn't a office job. It was me being on the field, aka outside, walking around in the hot sun or in the cold or in the rain, trying to sell off phones every day for this big man to eat, this hungry big man, so he can eat healthy, good, and go on trips or whatever. You know, we would have morning meetings and then we'd go over the company and explain everything. Honestly, I never really understood the vision, but I was trying to understand simply because there was somebody else in the company, Pete, who was very interested in me, and I was starting to be interested in him. Not gonna lie, we moved very quickly. The first few days, we're in the car on the way to the field. He's grabbing my foot from the front seat, massaging my feet, staring at me through the rearview mirror, and just like making these flirtatious looks. So I'm just like, oh yeah, he's on my body for sure. So a part of me was like, I don't want to mix business and pleasure. That's one thing you never do, is mix business and pleasure, because it never turns out right. But like I said, when you're being dumb and stupid and you're just like, oh my God, they're so cute, your mind be in a different place and you be thinking about down there instead of working and focusing on what you need to be focused on in the original vision. You know what I'm saying? So very quickly, it really spiraled out of control. And I'm just going to be surface level because I don't want to go into deep details, simply because this situation has already been deaded and I don't want to transpire any more parasites, like I said before. Oh, on my body, So it was another girl that was on the field as well. And he had went to ask me if I had a boyfriend and if I thought what I thought of him. So she's like, oh yeah, Pete want to know if you taken, if you single, whatever. And I was like, I told her my answer. And I was like, he's cute, whatever. So one of the days after work, he was like, I'm having like a little kickback at my place. Some coworkers gonna come back to my place. I got a nice townhome in Midtown and it's super nice. You need to come down, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll come see what y'all talking about. So I get there. Instantly, it was just kind of like, y'all didn't have any substance for me. Y'all didn't have nothing for me to inhale. And I have what I need to inhale at where I am, back at my crib where I am. So it's like, at the end of the day, I don't need to be here with you because y'all taking so long to get the substance that I need. And I had a long day at work. So either y'all have it or y'all don't. And he keeps saying, the person should be pulling up soon. They should be pulling up soon, And I'm just like, okay, trying to hold my composure or whatever. So 30 minutes go by and I'm just kind of annoyed and irritated. I was still talking to somebody at the time, but I wasn't like really in a relationship with them for real, but I was talking to somebody at the time. It is what it is. I was single. You can talk to whoever you want to when you're single. Cool. So the person I was talking to, they did call me. And so I was like, hold on. So I ended up going to a room. I didn't know what room I was going into. I just went into any room, opened the door, condom wrappers all over the floor, like literally. And it's even embarrassing for me to even say this out loud. So I'm really being blunt with y'all, for real. So it's condom wrappers over the floor. And then I go into the bathroom, answer the call, boom, hey, what you want? How was your day? How was work? I'm like, it's cool. I'm here with some coworkers. I'll call you later. Boom. So he comes rushing in the room. What are you doing? Oh my God, I didn't want you to see that. I'm like, oh, this is your room? Yes. I'm like, you couldn't clean up knowing that you was going to have people over. Oh, I didn't know. I think it's all, so you're just dirty. How long has this shit been here? I don't know. Okay, whatever, cool. So I was already annoyed. I ended up giving Pete a hug and was like, I'm about to go. He's like looking shocked that I'm really finna leave. Like he never had a girl tell him like that he not finna stay with her for the night or something. Like what? Like just cocky off the rip. But it's like I'm cocky too. So at the end of the day, like I could match you. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. But I ended up leaving. We ended up texting overnight, still talking, just getting to know each other. Went to work the next day. Shortly after, he asked me to bring some stuff to stay over for a few days, stay with him. He cleaned up and stuff like that. So by this time I'm cooking and I'm there with him daily. We're carpooling together to work. It's just like becoming a routine type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping every day with each other, waking up like I'm really sleeping with my boss at this point. Like, it's like, even though Pete was younger than me, doesn't matter what age you are, you could still be promoted inside that cult at any age. It just depends on your hard work and how hard you go. At this point, he can't sleep with a coworker or he'll be going against the guidelines. So we keeping everything a secret, a hush hush, not telling close friends that's in the business as well. They kind of know what's going on because he was roommates with one of his coworkers. So it was just like people who knew. And when I was there with him, yeah, people knew. And it was bound to come out eventually. He's like, bring a few things. I really want you to stay here with me. And I'm just like, I should have never been so quick to move in with him. That's one thing. You guys do not make the same mistakes. You guys need to learn these people as a friend first so that you don't get stuck in anything that you don't want to be tied down to. So he's like feeding me all this, like, get some clothes, come stay with me. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I didn't bring everything. I just bought a few things because at the end of the day, you really don't know how it's gonna go. But I still bought some valuable things. And keep that in mind. It was still some valuable things at the end of the day. So one day, me and him, we on the field, we working. And then I get a text on my phone, talk about some, yo, tell Pete to call me right now. It's an emergency. So now I'm like shaking up, like, what's going on? Like, you know? And by this time, like, at first it was me, Pete, and then somebody else on the field. By this time, it's just me and Pete on the field because we're so infatuated with each other. We're like lollygagging on the field. We're not even like putting in that much work that we really should be doing because we're just so focused on each other and just BSing. Like, at one point, he was doing my phones for me. You know, I wasn't trying to be slaving in no sun or overworking myself. So he would just do it for me and give me his, and that's how we would do it. But by this time, it's just me and him on the field. You know what I'm saying? So I get a call and I'm shaking up like, what's going on? So he calls back his friend, which was his roommate that worked in the company as well. So he's like, yeah, da 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 da. And I'm just like, what's going on? What is going on? So then he finally comes back and he tells me, he's like, yeah, basically we just got put out. All of our stuff is outside, furniture, everything. Apparently I was giving him the money, I was giving him my half, but I guess he wasn't paying it or whatever, doing something else with the money. And so we gotta go right now to the place to go see what's going on. So I'm just like, what? Nigga, what? Right when you tell me to bring my stuff, now y'all getting put out? What is this? I should have just stayed where I was at. See, that's the thing. Niggas would literally bring you into their life just to lead you to hell. They be like, let me lead, to lead you straight to hell. Like, I was on the way up, and then here you go. I'm on the way up, and then here you go. Trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to bring me down. And unfortunately, this situation spiraled way out of control than it should have, period. We get to the place, we see his roommate outside looking confused and lost. And I'm just like, nigga, I don't know why you looking confused and lost. Like, you know what the fuck going on. Like, don't be sitting here and looking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just upset that my stuff is outside. But pretty much he's like, I'm going to have some of y'all stuff. He was like, I'm going to have all y'all stuff taken and put at another friend's house because I just don't want y'all stuff outside. I don't care about the couches and stuff. I could just replace them. He just like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm just like, Whatever. At this point, I'm so annoyed. And so me and Pete, we go and get some food at a local restaurant up the street. We're eating. We're getting to know each other still. We're talking about the situation. You know, we're just gazing each other's eyes because we're both so perfect to each other. Right? This is how we thought at the moment. Now in this given time, I would not say the same thing because I know who he really is as a person, you know? So it's funny. He actually said, like, I want to know, like, what it is about you. You seem so perfect. And I'm like, I want to know what it is about you, too. You seem so perfect, too. But at this point, I'm already like, nah, this some BS. Because I already have these red flags, but I'm kind of like ignoring it at the same time. Us as women, we do want that whole unit, that unit. Just that good looking couple type of image, and just two young black couples striving and doing the work of God and just really just being great together. You know, I think that everybody really wants that as an individual, for real. And if you don't, that's fine too. But for me, it's like, I know it's a bigger picture. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. And what I learned in the situation is there is no benefit if you're in doubt, period. There is no benefit if you're in doubt, period. And that was my mistake. I should have never been given no benefits of the doubts, no overlooking red flags. It was right in my face, and that's what it was. I definitely learned from the situation. This is just something that happened to me, and I want to share with y'all and let y'all know. We're sitting at the table, gazing at each other's eyes, drinking our wine, eating our food, whatever. Goes to the restroom, and then he comes back, and then he's like, did you ever see me put in my phone code? And I'm like, no, why would I see you put in your phone code? Oh, I can't seem to unlock my phone. It's locked out for like 5 minutes. I think I'm a little tipsy. You think you're a little tipsy? I think I'm a little tipsy. I'm like, okay, let's wait the 5 minutes, whatever. So we wait the 5 minutes. 10 minutes go by. He puts the wrong code in again. So by this time, the waiter keeps coming to the table like, y'all gonna pay or what? I don't pay when I'm on dates. I've never even been in a situation where I have to pull out some money when I'm with a dude to pay for anything. That's wicked. That's wild. That's insane. That's madman. Like, what? So waiting the 10 minutes because, nigga, what the fuck? And 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, I'm telling y'all. So by this time, I'm like, do you want to run? What? How are you this manager of this company and you can't even pay this $45 tab? What? Literally doesn't make no sense. I don't know what as I'm telling this story, I don't know. I think I'm probably just thrown off. There's just no way I continue to talk to him after all that shit. After all that shit, no. Y'all, I ended up paying the damn tab. Okay, I ended up paying it. I just was not finna run. That's crazy. This is my city. I'm not finna be I'm not finna be on people restaurants. I'm not gonna be posted on people restaurants and be like, be weird for this girl right here. Like, what? No, nigga, you're weird as fuck for even asking me that. So we end up leaving, we're walking back to the place. So that same day, he actually ends up telling me that he loves me. And again, another red flag. We've only been talking for like 2 weeks, and you're already telling me that you love me. You're already trauma bonding with me, telling me all these things. But then again, it is what it is. When you think it's love, then you be acting like you dumb. So, hey. By this time, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be getting promoted in a company. Because like I said, you can get promoted in a company. Doesn't matter what age you are. Just depends on your hard work and how much money you're making that big old chunky man. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, as long as the fat man eats and you fill up the pig, that's all that matters. And you can get promoted. And so that's potentially what it was. I met him, he was like 3 weeks into getting promoted. So that's why I was saying that he was already kind of like in management position, because he was going to get promoted very soon. But he ended up texting me, yeah, I'm getting promoted next week. And I'm super excited. And I really want you, your mom to come. My mom's going to come. You know, my family's gonna be there. Everybody from the nation is gonna be coming down to this promotion. So I'm like, okay, cool, bet. I'm excited for you. The kicker of the story is he talked to a Latino woman before me that was in the company. She ended up getting promoted herself and moved down to Florida, opened up her office, did her own thing. She was coming up to Georgia to be there for his promotion because it's worldwide for the company. Mind you, this girl would text him every single day. This time we got each other phone codes because, you know, he didn't lock himself out, and just for me to have his phone code, it wasn't not because we didn't trust each other. It was simply just because we did trust each other and we wanted each other to know that, hey, we're not doing anything and you're open to go through my phone, vice versa. I don't care. I'm not hiding anything. So I would see her texting him. I would see her calling and just being weird, and he would check her and be like, yo, I want my girl. Like, he would literally be telling her, like, I don't want you. Like, stop being weird. Fall back. And we're gonna name her Miriam. We're gonna name her Miriam, the girl that kept on trying to insert herself into the relationship. So you got Miriam, and then you got Lisa. It's Miriam that's coming up from Florida, and then Lisa that's also in management of the company in Atlanta. Lisa and Miriam are best friends. That's the kicker of it. Lisa and Miriam are best friends. They're besties. And these two women have been antagonizing me in the relationship since they kind of like, it's like they don't know that we're dating, but they're doing little things to make me say it or to make me react and go off or make me react to get fired or something like that. Like, literally, me and him will be on the field. And Lisa will call him and be like, what are you doing? Like, trying to talk in a seductive, weird ass voice. Like, what? Are you with your girlfriend? Girl, what? Like, just doing weird stuff. Or like, Miriam would text him and be like, oh, are you with your little groupie? Calling me a groupie? Like, girl, back up. Like, I literally wasn't even making it obvious that we was together when we was in the office. But y'all could just feel our energy. Y'all could just tell that they a couple, they're an item. And they kept on trying to do little things to rat out if we was in a relationship. Like, they would have morning meetings and be like, so if y'all got a girlfriend, raise your hand. If you got a boyfriend, raise your hand. Then they would look at us. Like, it was just so weird how they was trying to really rat out us being in a relationship or whatever. That just goes to show how much they was trying to get me out of my character. And I really didn't give these girls a reaction until I gave them a reaction. I'm just ignoring everything that they're saying because at the end of the day, I know that they want my position and they want to get me fired. They really just don't want to see me get promoted and the cold company that they got going on. Before his promotion or whatever, we're still on the field, we're still working, we're still trying to get our numbers up. It's just me and him, and sometimes we'll go on the field with one other person. Sometimes it would just be me and him. It just depends on how we felt that day when we wake up. So this one particular day, we're out on the field. So we're somewhere in a low income area, and sometimes we would split up and sometimes we would stay together. This particular day, we ended up splitting up so that we could try to focus and get our numbers up. So he gonna do his thing, and I'm looking at my phone because it was like, okay, it don't take that long to do applications because by the time it's already like 30 minutes in, and I'm kind of getting worried, like, what's going on? He hasn't texted me, he hasn't done anything. Like, is he okay? I'm like, he's a big boy, he should be okay. And then next thing you know, I look up and here he comes running up the hill with his nice suit, talking about some babe, out of breath. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, what's going on? Is you good? What's going on? So he finally comes to me. He's like, I just got SA by a trans woman. And I'm just like, what? Are you for real? Where do they live? Show me where they live. Like, what's up? Like, they violated you? How you feel? You good? Like, when something happens to somebody that I love, I'm very defensive. I'm very, like, into mother mode. Like, what's going on? What's up? And he just was looking so shocked and so like he didn't know what to do. So he ends up telling me where the person lives. I'm knocking on the door, confront them, whatever, exchange my words, tell them how I feel. And that was that. But I should never be put in a situation where I'm being taken out of my femininity to defend a man. Period. I should have never been in that situation anyway, because what if that man, lady, would have hit me? And that's not a homophobic comment, that's for real. That's a transgender woman that has masculine traits. You know, so at the end of the day, if they hit me, I'm fighting with a guy at the end of the day. So after that situation, like, I don't know what it was. I just went into defense mode and kind of just was feeling like I needed to defend him, because he came to me like he done got puzzled and he was so confused and he just didn't know what to do. So this is what he said, what happened. He said that he went down to do a phone application for somebody. He could tell that they were transgender, but he was like, I'm not homophobic. At the end of the day, this is my money. I'm going to continue to do the application. So he's doing the application or whatever. He do the phone, he leave. And then he says that the guy's like, yo, as he's leaving, like he's like 2 minutes down the street by this time. So he turns around and he said he's thinking that there's something wrong with the phone, because sometimes they do be acting a little weird. And he's like, turn it back around, and the door was cracked open. So he goes into the house. He says that the guy was not on the couch sitting there. The guy wasn't just right in the living room when he walked in. So as he's walking around looking for the guy, he said the guy is on his knees in his bedroom. And he asked him if he could his diggling. Yeah. So by this time, Pete's looking like, what? Like, he looking confused, he's looking lost. And he said the guy was like going like this to the door, telling him like, you know, you can't leave. You're not going nowhere. I want to suck your thing. Where you going? Where you going? You're not finna leave. Begging him if this, literally begging my boyfriend if he could suck his diggling. Like, that's the thing that really tripped me out. As he's telling me this story, I'm just looking at him kind of lost, kind of confused. Like, what? You didn't smack this dude? You just, okay. Whatever. So that's what he claims what happened. Again, another red flag. If your dude cannot defend himself or you, run. So that happened. Now his promotion comes. It's his big day and everybody's super excited and we're all just ready to celebrate him and embrace him and his day and his big promotion, right? So everybody comes down from everywhere. The day before his promotion, he tells his team, he tells me, look, I want y'all all dripped out in black. When we walk in, I want to walk in like the mafia. And that's exactly what we did. We looked good as hell, all walking in, dripped out in black. And it was really nice, you know, being there to watch him just prosper and record him tell his speech. His speech. Y'all, this is gonna have to be a part 2, not gonna hold y'all. And y'all, by this time, I've already met his family. We moved so quickly. It was actually insane. And so I'm standing with his family and we're just watching him do his little speech or whatever. And so after his promotion, he tells me, look, all the managers, we're going to a little brunch. And then afterwards, we're going to the CEO's house and he's going to throw me a rooftop pool party. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, have fun. I'll go work on the field with somebody else. That's fine. That's fine. Enjoy your day. I'm happy for you, whatever. So we end up taking some pictures outside. And he goes on about his day. And the funny thing is, before we really separated and did our own thing, Miriam was standing outside. And she tried to like congratulate him. And then he looked at her in disgust. And then she kind of like looked sad. And then the CEO was like, Miriam, are you sure that you still want to be at the well, he's clearly moved on. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, he said it out loud. So it's like he knows what's going on, but they just want to act oblivious and try to draw it out of me instead. Whatever. And so now she's looking all stupid and lost. So anyway, he go on with his day, I go on with my day, and I'm on the field. And that was actually the first time where I actually did really well on the field and really got higher numbers than I've ever done before with him being on the field, because I wasn't lollygagging, you know, flirting with him and just not doing what I was supposed to do. I was really focused on getting my numbers up. Ended up going to go pick him up. And then he gets in the car and he's like, babe, I have to tell you something. I'm like, what's going on? And then he's like, I don't want you to get mad, but I'm going to tell you this because, you know, you're my girlfriend. I want to be honest with you. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, when I was on the phone, because he was on the phone with me, basically, he was on the phone with me, not the whole day, but we would be talking to each other for like probably like 10, 15 minutes throughout the day, just to check on each other. He's like, when I got off the phone with you and I had went downstairs to get some Chick-fil-A, he said the CEO had ordered them some Chick-fil-A because they were all drinking and stuff like that. So he ends up going downstairs. This is what he's telling me. He ends up going downstairs to get his Chick-fil-A. And then when he goes back into the room to gather his stuff to, you know, get ready to leave, because I'm downstairs to come get him at this point. Like, we're done with the day. We're done working. We're done doing our numbers. What's up? He tells me that he goes to get his stuff from out the room that he was just in when he was on the phone with me. And Miriam and Lisa are both on the bed, rubbing themselves, asking him to come into bed with them, and basically trying to get him to cheat on me, pretty much. Just come to bed, how can you resist us? Why you gotta leave so soon, type of thing. Mind you, these are two managers that are supposed to be role models, or supposed to be influential people in a company that I'm supposed to look up to, in a company that I want to be striving to be. I'm trying to be like y'all, right? Y'all supposed to be a leading example. I'm a new person, yet y'all doing all this weird shit. All this weird shit. So he's telling me this, and I'm just looking like, what the fuck are you saying to me right now? What? And so my brain is getting foggy, but at the end of the day, it's still his promotion day, and I don't want to overreact, and I don't want to do too much for him to enjoy his day. So I was like, kind of just like, what the fuck? That's weird. So I'm like, so what did you do when they was doing all that? Well, you were already downstairs, so I was just trying to get my stuff, and I told them that they were tripping, and I left. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. But the thing is, I'm still getting to know this dude, and I have to go based off what he's telling me. Like, even though I want to believe that it was something else, I have to believe that what he's telling me, because he hasn't really given me a reason to not go off of his word, kind of. Like, I haven't caught it full in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So, this is so crazy saying this shit out loud. But yeah, so he's like, I ended up leaving and I came downstairs. Like, this literally just happened right now. So I'm like, okay. Then he's like, yeah, and also the CEO starring me in a section tonight. Do you want to come? He's like, Miriam and Lisa are both going to be in the section, and I just wanted to be honest and tell you this, but I don't know how you're going to take it. If you want to come, you're more than welcome to still come out with us, but I'm just letting you know. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, should I just not go to just avoid? Because once I get drunk and really start thinking and swirling my cup and looking around, I'm really going to be fed up with the whole situation. And I'm probably going to do something I'm going to regret. So I'm just going back and forth. But I'm like, I also want to be there for my man and support him. And you bitches are not going to be there to support him. I'm going to be there to support him, if anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like going back and forth. But his promotion night was just so hectic and so crazy, because everybody came back to where we were, and it was like a big kickback, and it was a lot that went on that night alone, with some guys that were beefing in a company, and like they were pulling out guns on each other. It was like this whole crazy fiasco, and I was just trying to make sure that Pete wasn't in the mix or trying to get involved or trying to mediate their situation. Just like, let them do what they doing. You come back in the house and sit your ass down, because if you get shot, then I'm gonna beat your ass while you in the hospital. So you better just sit the fuck down somewhere. By that time, I'm already super tired. So I end up going into the room and taking a little nappy nap, because I'm tired. I've been working all day, dealing with y'all arguing and pulling out guns and just being extra and all this stuff. So I'm in a room laying down, and then he comes in there and wake me up. He's like, babe, do you still want to go out? The CEO just hit me up, and he's like, he got the search ready. He's ready for us to come. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, bro, it's 1 o'clock a.m. I'm not gonna go out. Y'all go out. And I'm just annoyed and tired at this point. But the thing is, it's funny, because when I start getting dressed, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. Because like I said, I was pacing back and forth, like, do I want to go? Do I not want to go? But I was tired and annoyed. But I also wanted to celebrate him too, because it's like, y'all not gonna be celebrating him and I'm not there. So it's like, now that I'm getting ready, now that I'm getting dressed and I'm up, he's like, babe, you sure you want to go? You just said that you're not gonna go. What's up? And so now that I'm getting ready, and now that I'm like up and in motion, and he's like, babe, you sure you want to get ready? I thought you said you weren't gonna come. Like, he's trying to now convince me that I don't want to go. And so that kind of weirded me out, because it was just like, do you want me to support you or not? Because at first you was telling me that you want me to come. Now you're trying to be on this manipulation mind games type of thing and try to trick me to say that I don't want to go anymore. Like, at the end of the day, I really do want to go, but the fact that you're being weird, nigga, just go and do your own thing, because now I don't even want to go. I'm not even gonna put in that extra energy to entertain anything for the rest of this day. Okay, you already pissed me off with this whole situation, these two girls being in the bed earlier or whatever, because that story right there still doesn't even sound right. It still doesn't sit right with me to this day. So he ends up going to his section, enjoying the rest of his promotion, and I just went to sleep and waited for him to come back. I was just like, I'm already tired. I'm already irritated. I don't want to get drunk and end up doing something to one of these girls. So I ended up falling asleep, and then I think he came back to the crib like around probably like 4:30 a.m. So he comes in the bed and he's like, yeah, it was nice. You know, I had a good time. I'm like, did anything interesting happen? He's like, no, nothing weird happened. I'm like, I didn't ask nothing weird happened. I said interesting. So, but he claimed nothing happened and it was a cool night. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So we end up going to sleep. Cool. But that next morning, I was like, okay, your promotion's over. Time to really get down to the nitty gritty. So I just woke up, and granted, I did do this. I ended up calling Miriam because I had her number because we all worked in the company. And plus I had his phone code. So I definitely was gonna get her number or her friend's number either way. So I ended up texting her. No, I ended up calling her. I'm like, hello, you need gas money or an Uber to come handle this situation physically? Like, I said it in the most proper, nicest tone ever. I didn't say it disrespectfully. Like, I literally was very nice. I offered you gas money to come handle the situation physically. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get busy. And she basically was like, you're so ghetto. And then she hung up the phone and then ran to the CEO, snitched on me. CEO ends up calling Pete, and he's like, yeah, mate, I really don't want her in the company anymore. We can't have that type of behavior. Mind you, without even listening or even asking me or anything that really, really happened in the situation, Pete didn't defend me. Pete not telling him nothing that really happened or anything that went on. So yeah, I'm looking at him sideways like, you didn't defend me against a whole transgender person. So I knew that you wasn't gonna defend me when it came to this situation. So I shouldn't have been surprised anyway. And so I ended up getting fired. It's just funny because after everything that really, really, really happened, I realized that I was set up by him to really get fired. But at this time, I didn't know this. At this time, I'm oblivious to this. I'm not knowing what's going on. I'm just thinking that I got fired and he's not listening to my side of the story. And my boyfriend, he's too scared to defend me against the CEO or against anybody, management in the company. And so, yeah, I'm just like, what? I really got fired. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy because y'all gun-toting and doing all this and threatening people, cussing each other out and all this stuff. But when I threaten to handle a situation that very much needs to be handled, it's a problem. It's, oh, she's getting fired. But that was the plan. That's what they wanted. They wanted the queen to be taken off her throne so that somebody else could try to come and take it. And so it worked out for them. It all worked out. What I really want to touch bases on with this whole scenario, because there's gonna have to be a part 2 because I can't fit everything into this one video. My storage is so low right now. It's actually ridiculous. The stuff that I had to go through to even get my clothes and all my stuff from the eviction when he got evicted. Oh my God, y'all would not believe what I had to go through to get my stuff because he kept prolonging the situation, kept saying, oh, we're gonna go get it this day, we're gonna go get it that day, we're gonna go get it that day. And every day we never went to go get our stuff. It was just lingering at somebody's house. So that's a whole nother story that you guys need to stay tuned. So we got the clothes story, okay? And then we got the next half of the story that's like totally crazy, totally wicked, totally vile. The things I had to go through in Miami dealing with him in this situation, living in a frat house with like 8 other people, you guys, it was crazy. Going through fields like Harriet Tubman, hiding from the CEO in Miami because I got fired. Mind you guys, before I got fired, the CEO asked me if I wanted to come down to Miami because the company was expanding to a different state and they needed people that were willing to work down in Miami. And he asked me and I said, of course I'll come and support the company because duh, dating one of your managers, of course I'm gonna come. But he didn't know that. It's like he knew, but they didn't know for sure. So it's funny because when he called Pete and was telling him about the situation with me and a girl, he was like, we're not gonna tolerate that physical altercations. She's not bringing that stuff to Miami. She's not coming down to Miami anymore. All that's done. Tell her that she's done from the company. I don't want to hear anything that's going on with her. And he just kind of like threw me in a category of being this crazy ratchet girl, this insane girl that just likes to tussle. Like, dude, you don't even know what happened. You didn't even understand the concept of anything. You just went off a whim based off of what one of your workers told you. And that's completely fine, because at this day and age, I'm done defending myself. I'm done like trying to be Captain Save a Hope for myself. Like, I don't give a fuck. Either you're gonna believe what you wanna believe, no matter what I tell you, what I don't tell you, people gonna believe what they wanna believe. So just run with it. At this point, run with it. And I literally was just more so annoyed that you just kind of dismiss me. Like, don't ever dismiss me. Like, who are you to dismiss me? But at the end of the day, it was a cult company. If you're not making the fat man happy, like I said in the beginning, then you're cut from the roster. So I definitely understand. I was still dating someone that worked in a company, and this guy was telling me that he wanted me to come to Miami. And I told him, no, I want to stay in Atlanta. Because if I go to Miami and it's some BS, I'm going to be pissed off at you, and we're really going to be done. And my family's here in Atlanta. I don't want to, get off track or get distracted, anything like that. He's like, no, I promise you this is going to be good. I really want to start life with you. He literally told me, if you don't come down to Miami, I'm going to treat every girl after you like shit. Like, I really want us to work, and you not coming down to Miami is basically like a slap in my face telling me you never cared about the relationship and that you was just here for basically for fun. So I'm just like, okay, dude, I'll come down to Miami. Like, I'm really in this. Let's really do this. If you're really serious about being in my life and taking this to the next level, then let's do it. I'm in. He's telling me all this. So I'm like, okay, bet. If anything weird happens, then I'm definitely good off you. And that's just that. So the next part of the story is gonna be how I actually got my clothes from the girl that was trying to steal them. Okay, let's talk about it. She was trying to literally steal my stuff, my makeup bag, everything. And I'm gonna do a part 2 on how I got my clothes back, and also part 3 on what really transpired in Miami and what really took place in Miami with this frat house and this cult company and this crazy dude that I dated, this crazy narcissistic dude that I dated. How I was hiding in alleyways like Harriet Tubman from the CEO because I got fired and I wasn't really supposed to be in Miami because the CEO was funding the housing that we were in. So every time he would come and try to check on the house, I would have to go and scurry in some alleyways and hide. So it was just a bunch of nonsense. It was definitely crazy. It was just sick. A lot of things got revealed in that time, and I actually ended up moving back to Atlanta and starting my business and start working on me and start getting back to the things I love, like YouTube and money and working, etc. Hanging out with my real friends that know me for me and not trying to be involved with these cult people that know nothing about me and trying to paint images of me as this crazy person who threatened this girl because I threatened her to fight her over no reason. I just woke up and just was like, ooh, let's fight. No. So if you guys want to know how I actually got my life back on track, if you have any questions, I definitely will be answering them in the comment section. This is what happens when somebody feeds you lies and you listen to them and you let a man lead. He will lead you to hell. He'll lead you to the dungeon. He will lead you to nowhere. That's why you better off doing things by yourself and working on yourself until you whole and you complete emotionally, physically, mentally. And that's the thing. When I first joined that company, that's what I was trying to do. Then I got distracted talking to him. Starting with the interview, he was already on my body trying to distract me and just take me off my A game. And not gonna lie, you guys, it worked completely. It did work. It definitely was a stop on my life for a good 5-6 months that I could have been progressing somewhere else, that I should have been progressing somewhere else. But again, when you think you're in love and you think that this is the one and you focus on this person, that's all you do. in your own little bubble with your person, essentially. But that was my fault. I should have not have done that. Being in Miami with him and being around all his business people, it was definitely an eye-opener, and it definitely made me see a lot of how they really portrayed me as an individual. With that being said, I definitely am super excited to go more in detail. And like I said, this video is not to bash anybody. It's not to degrade or defame anybody. It's simply my story, and I'm helping other women or other people out that may potentially be in the same situation or may get in a situation in the future and could draw back to this video. Remember, like, hey, that's a red flag. That's something that I saw in Blueprintscorpio video. And so now I know how to maneuver a little bit differently when it comes to certain stuff. And you guys, this story, like, it's done now. It has recent details in the story, and that's why I'm being careful over certain words that I say, because I don't want anybody to feel hurt throughout this video. Even though it's my story, people love to flip your words around and flip narratives, so you got to be really picky about what you say online and in text and in video as well. And I'm very aware of that. Keep that in mind, that I'm telling y'all the story, but I can't go in full detail and tell y'all the story. I'm gonna just keep it surface level as possible. I'm gonna start getting income off my trauma, because there's no way in hell that I'm gonna be going through this stuff and not recording it and not vlogging it. I'm gonna just be telling y'all what's going on. I'm just gonna be giving y'all the tea. And hey, we all go through dumb bitch moments, and that's not the first dumb bitch moment that I've had. I've had plenty. And I've had some where I was actually the person doing the lame shit to the other person. I actually was the person that was inflicting the pain to the person. So I've been on both ends, you know what I'm saying? And you don't really want to be either of those people. You really just want to live a good life, do good by people, and God's gonna bless you with whatever he feels like you're ready to be blessed with. Mind you, I was going through a spiritual awakening as well. And your spiritual awakening never really stops. Your spiritual journey really never stops. But during that time when I met Pete, I was in the midst of transitioning from something into something better. So it's like you met me at a time where I wasn't at my fullest potential. And that's gonna be the real key at the end of this whole situation. People always wanna leave you when you're growing and you're developing and you're building your empire. They always wanna leave. They don't never want to come back until they see that shit is already built. They don't want to come back until they see that you already made up and you good and you good to go, and they try to slide back in. No nigga. No nigga. And that's literally what happens. So make sure you guys stay tuned for part 2 and part 3. If you guys want to see part 2 and part 3, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know, because we come in with the bangers. And which one do y'all want first? Do y'all want the next part of this video? Letting you guys know how he played me to the max. That's the thing, he might have thought that he played me, but I literally won the war and the battle. The way God works, that's just the bottom line. When you're chosen, just don't fuck with his kids, like, simple. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.